Jacques.
Yes.
I'm here to talk about ERB Season 6.
Yeah, the last of the season. You can tell it's most recent anyway. I won't say it's the last of all seasons, but it's most recent. You could tell because, boy, we're really getting some modern, real, just this year stuff. So, yeah.
So there were 11 battles in all. There was another bonus battle between seasons, which was Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg.
Yep.
That was a fun one.
It was fun. They were all fun this time. They were all. I thought they were all pretty stellar. Like I just kind of wrote down a bunch of typically after these season recaps that we've been doing, we'll kind of like deliberate and like rank them. The last season was like I would say probably the hardest. This was just kind of like I liked all of them so much and they all felt like so similar. I probably should have had it like deliberated as much as I did last season, but I just kind of wrote down numbers and I was like, yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah, like the worst one I have is like still really good.
Yeah, really I would say so as well for me.
So what would be number 11?
So for me, I think it might even just be recency bias, but my number 11 is Freddy Krueger versus Wolverine. Like
Same.
recency bias in the sense that like it's just like it's good, it's really good, it's fun, but I felt like a lot of the other ones were just better.
Yeah, you a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan, X-Men fan?
Not really either. A lot of good little references in this though. It's like the what is it being beaten by was it Jane or whatever? I don't remember the main. He makes reference to whoever beats Freddy in the first movie.
Oh yeah, beat by Nancy on Elm Street.
Nancy on Elm Street. Yeah. So yeah,
I do like the Wolverine comes in really strong, where it's like the claw is like a strap on. There's a pussy underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, I also like how he says "bub" at the beginning of both verses, and then they make reference to the animated thing of him like touching the photo. It was also really good. Yeah, it was fun.
Yep, so they had a bit of classic Wolverine, and then they like switched over to like Hugh Jackman Wolverine for a bit.
Does anybody complain the fact that Wolverine's never donned that outfit in the movies? Do you know how awful it would be if he actually donned that outfit in the movies? It'd be terrible.
Yeah. Some outfits are not meant for the on-screen adaptation. No. I mean, it's like they poke fun at it, like the WandaVision, you know?
Yeah.
Where they were dressed as their comic book. They look so ridiculous.
Yeah.
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 So I think they're aware.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think Hugh Jack's shit. What's
okay.
Next?
So next for me was Jacques Cousteau versus Steve Irwin. I feel like
I love this one. Yeah.
I love it too. I feel like maybe I almost should have put the comedians one more. I almost feel like this one deserves to be up higher.
You're always switching stuff around. Last time you would switch stuff from like second to last to second to first.
Yeah, it was weird. It was wild.
Well, they're all good.
They are all good. That's the thing. I feel like, okay, I'm actually going to say it's the George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Joan Rivers, Robin Williams one. I'm actually going to say that's my number 10.
That was fun. It's fun.
It's fun, yeah. The Joan Rivers part was kind of weak. That was the part where I was like,
Joan Rivers had like the best lines.
She did have some great lines, though. That's the thing.
You're just hating on Joan Rivers.
I'm just hating on Joan Rivers, pretty much, because I don't like Joan Rivers. But
because she did.
She did.
That's the only reason you're hating on her. She can't defend herself.
Is she dead? I don't even know. Is she dead? Is she? Okay. I don't know.
Passed away like 2019, 2020, pretty recently.
Pretty recently. Okay. I just wasn't paying attention. But
maybe even sooner than that. I don't know.
It was fun. Nice back and forth. I like. So one thing I really liked about this one in the editing, how they made the Richard Pryor look like he was straight up on one of his specials in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like the kind of like out of focus a little bit. I really like that. It was great because it looked like it was a live special, stand-up special. It was really cool.
They did a lot of cool stuff, like stylistically with a lot of these battles, where it's like really make them match the theme. Like they had between like verses, or like after the first verse at least, when like George Carlin finished his, they had like a little laughter after.
Yeah.
It was like,
George Carlin was also like overlit a little bit too, like 90s. Like 90s stand-up and live shows were.
You also had this cool
that
like
all worked really well.
Also had this cool like shadow effect where like you had black and white versions of him, like behind him, and like it was cool. They did cool stuff. But I liked his. There are 7 words you can't say on a TV set.
Yeah, and he says all of them. That's great. Classic. It's a classic bit.
Richard Pryor's lines, they're not very strong.
Yeah.
In comparison, but then Joan Rivers comes in and just grills all of them. She's like, they gave her the most material to work with. Yeah.
And Robin Williams shows up at the end.
Yep. Robin Williams, he makes a lot of movie references, is what he does.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like all the movies he's in.
Got secondhand raps. Found him Goodwill Hunting.
Good morning, Vietnam.
That's literally what I thought Goodwill Hunting was when I, like, until we actually watched the movie. Yeah. I always thought it was like Goodwill Hunting.
Like they're hunting for Goodwill or something. Yeah, they're hunting for a Goodwill. Where's the Goodwill?
I never thought of it as a name. I was like, completely changed everything. Bill Cosby also made an appearance.
Yeah, briefly, yes. Yeah.
You got
uncomfortably. Joan Rivers appropriately smacked him down. It was great.
Ooh, who are you wearing now? What was it? Yeah, State Penitentiary? Because that was a Joan Rivers thing, and which we see on display in Shrek. What is it, Shrek the Third? Where they have Joan Rivers. She's doing her, like, red carpet thing that she was known for back in the day. Like, who are you wearing? She would say that a lot. But, there's some good stuff in there. Haven't thrashed celebrities as bad since The Apprentice. We used to watch The Apprentice all the time.
So you probably have a little bit more of appreciation for Joan Rivers than I do.
We were never a huge fan of Joan Rivers, even when she went and won her season and she came back for All Stars. It was like, but Donald Trump always loved Joan. He always had his favorites. He loved Joan Rivers.
I love you, Joan. You're the best.
He loved Piers Morgan. They brought those two back, and
Piers, I can see you being a very good host of
very good Twitterer.
A very good Twitter. You'd be great at America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Yeah. Celebrity Apprentice is great. Those were the good days. The good days
of the good days of the Don.
Even though he was still doing some stupid stuff back
some
then.
Whack stuff. Yeah, you've talked about how he's done some whack stuff. Well, we'll get to Donald Trump in a little bit here.
Oh.
Actually, that's actually next for me. That's my number. That's actually my number 9. Yeah, that's my number 9. Still very good. I felt like it was maybe a little too. They gave Joe Biden maybe a little more time, but I guess
Donald Trump got a raw deal. It was rigged.
It was rigged. It was rigged against the Don. The Don didn't get. But I was gonna say, I guess it makes sense that he got a little bit more time because Donald Trump in reality was always cutting in and. I mean, they both cut in. That's presidential debates for you, but.
Dude, it was so funny. The first couple of debates with Donald Trump was really awful. Like, nonstop. He was just nonstop interrupting.
Will you shut up, man?
Yeah, let's really get that. The last line of this battle.
Yeah.
You shut up, man. But there's some good lines in there.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
I liked in the first, basically the first verses are like both of them bragging about how great they are, but they're all like the things that people hate about both of them. So it's like, it is really funny how like Biden was being like, I'm not gonna defund the police. I have a DA as my vice president. It's like, I'm gonna fund him right up. And then Donald Trump was bragging about like all the horrible stuff he's done.
Tear gas.
Tear gassing people.
Yeah.
And
but I like when he did the person, woman, camera, TV thing. That was from the. Remember that interview where he was bragging about his memory, like that he did on that test. And he was like, they'll say man, woman, person, camera, TV, whatever it was.
Whatever, yeah.
And he was like, I had it like that. He was so impressed with himself. And it was funny. They had like in the intro, they had Joe Biden with his mask on and the shades. And he had the little hand sanitizer.
Our country's a joke.
Good stuff in there, though. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein was in there.
Yeah, so the Epstein joke. Yep.
I like the pulling away faster than your wife's hand. It's such a funny video. He goes to grab her hand. She's like, no.
No, not having that. Yeah.
Not a good look. It's not a good look for me.
Nah.
You can't be seen holding your hand. I'll walk next to you, be your wife, but. Yes.
Oh dear.
Too much. Right. So what's next?
My number 8 was Thanos versus Oppenheimer. I was very output by the Thanos costume in this. It looked horrible.
The head is just there's something going on with the head there.
I also felt like most of the references were all pretty much on the nose. I felt like the creativity this season was kind of through the roof. So this one was like maybe a little bit lacking in that regard, but all of the stuff they did with Oppenheimer was like awesome. Like it sounded like straight out of the interviews and stuff that he gave. Yeah, it was great.
To listen to your raps, I am become deaf. You need an Iron Man for that wrinkly ass skin. Yeah, it's good stuff. I did like they did some cool stuff with the beat. And,
the beat was very cool in that, yeah.
And Thanos kind of swagging out at some points.
Yeah.
He's like
his massive head.
He's like 6 infinity gems is what I'm packing.
Yeah.
Just flexing on him.
Yeah, no, overall it was still really good. A lot of great effects in the background. The background's in this one a lot too, like the nuclear bombs going off and stuff. So
I'll finish this like Ant-Man. All up in your stinky.
Also, Thanos calls him Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Which is both a reference to the was it the Manhattan Project? Isn't that what created the nuclear bomb?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also, you could argue, I guess maybe it's a little contrived. So what he's quoting is the poem Ozymandias when he says, "I am become death, destroyer of worlds." And Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan are both characters in Watchmen, which you could say is sort of contrived. So you got comic reference. It's got layers. Yeah. I may be contriving that, but
it's definitely the Watchmen reference at the very least.
Yeah.
Because he says, "Stick your tiny nuclear dick back in your pants."
Yeah, he does. Dr. Manhattan. So it is a Dr. Manhattan thing. So yeah, there's some layers there. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So I guess 7 then would be Jacques Cousteau versus Steve Irwin for me. I do still really like this one. I actually just watched recently Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which Steve Zissou is very clearly based on Jacques Cousteau. That movie's great, by the way. But yeah, this was just a lot of fun. Steve Irwin was just kind of going insane this entire time in the best way possible, like just all over the place. Crikey! It was just.
I love when he stops and he does the Steve Irwin thing. He's like, he's like using Jacques Cousteau, like the animals, looking at him. That was cool.
Yeah, but it was like, "You can hold the D because I'm crocodile done."
Crocodile done with you.
Yeah, crocodile done with you. That was fun.
It's a fun beat too, because it's like they were
doing some didgeridoo in there, maybe a little bit. I'm trying to remember if they did that. I was like, that would have fit. They did. They fit the whole Australia thing.
Through with you like a didgeridoo.
That is a Steve Irwin thing too. You just like animated. He was an animated guy. That's for sure.
Yeah. Were you killed by a fish? Kid's pet at the aquarium.
That was great. I still like that battle quite a lot. Here's one that surprised me at how good it was. That was the Mother Teresa versus Sigmund Freud. Because I was like, that's kind of a weird pairing, but I was like, but you can make like a lot of like mother jokes, obviously, because of some of the psychological stuff that Freud did, and there was like a lot. There was like they had like penis envy. They had the obviously Oedipus complex stuff.
You got lines like the DMV. Me takes balls, but I ain't got no DNV.
Yeah. Sigmund Freud made fun of like the methods that Mother Teresa made, and obviously he's like, "Oh, there's no such thing as miracles or God or anything like that." And it was great. That was fun. that also had the beat on that was fun.
Yeah.
I would say they stepped up the beat game this season like a lot, and it really shows.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I help people live. You watch people die to get souls for our men in the sky. You were the fakest sister accents, Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, like good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff on both sides for sure.
And Mother Teresa's a very fun, like she is a fun way of playing that character.
Yeah,
she was going wild with it
for sure. Yeah. Next, I have Vlad the Impaler versus Count Dracula. This one was awesome. Mm-hmm. This was like very. They played into that. This was like one of the most unique ones I can think of because they were both very subdued. So they're both kind of like leaning into the spooky kind of thing.
Yeah.
The beat was fantastic on this one. It was just like a very kind of it was repetitive, but it was like perfect for what they needed to do. A lot of great references to both like versions of Dracula in film, all the history with Vlad the Impaler, both kind of overemphasized or over legendized and like real stuff. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. I thought it was very fun.
Mm-hmm. I shape-shifted to mist and bone with no rider. And it started with is this thing on? It's like 1, 2, And then Vlad had some good lines.
Yeah.
Did you shapeshift through his punchlines? Because they missed. It feels like your reflection. It doesn't exist. He had a lot of clever wordplay. Put his foot on ottomans like he was furniture shopping.
It was awesome. Yeah. That was great. So number 4, I have Ronald McDonald versus Burger King versus Wendy. Maybe a little too high, but I still thought this one was awesome.
Oh yeah.
It was great. I mean, you had every reference you could possibly have about all these characters. I was actually surprised that there was like less about like the Mick Kids gang or whatever they were. There wasn't like tons about them, but there was like little side references to them, like the mayor of what's called whatever.
Mayor McCheese.
Mayor McCheese. But
I ain't loving shit. Even if Timberlake sings.
And then Wendy shows up and shows him up. But it was a lot of fun. It's just
I really like the way they play both of the characters. Like Burger King is really good. The delivery.
Also, that's the way they should have Burger King look and not the creepy, the giant
big
mask, big head. I did like the reference of like they got rid of you, and they like a box with a face.
Yeah,
that box with a face is like the most horrifying thing in the world. I think it's way scarier than any clown.
But it is sad they sidelined Ronald McDonald like that though.
Ronald McDonald was like to me like the one exception of like like kids don't like clowns or think clowns are creepy. I'm not a huge clown fan personally. My uncle has been a clown I guess before, but I never thought Ronald McDonald. I always thought Ronald McDonald was great. He was just like a bundle of joy. He was great. I never thought he was like creepy or scary. I was like,
did you ever have Ronald McDonald come to your school?
No. Did you? Did you?
Yeah, we had
really
an assembly. We would have an assembly in primary school where Ronald McDonald came in and like on a unicycle, he'd like juggle and stuff. He was doing this wacky stuff. I distinctly remember that. Very wild time. Time to be alive.
I distinctly remember. This is a weird cut to anyone who wasn't like a Christian kid and didn't grow up at a Christian school. So I remember it was like I think it was like in 3rd or 4th grade. We had Salty the Singing Songbook.
Okay.
Salty the Singing Songbook show up at our school. They did like a huge concert thing. And the reason that I remember this, I think more distinctly than I maybe would have not, was because I remember this is like the first time I remember getting violently ill. Like I remember I was sick for like 3 days. I was like throwing up for like a day, like a full day. I got horribly sick that night after I did this. We went to it, and that's why I remember that so well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that even means. The songbook.
Okay.
It is a songbook. It is a book.
Yeah, it was an anthropomorphic song. Like, okay, so like a psalter, Psalter, or a psalm. So a psalm is like an ancient form of song or poem. And there's a whole book in the Bible called Psalms, which it's just full of songs, basically, or poems. And a psalter is like an older songbook, basically, what you would have all your songs in. So it was an anthropomorphic songbook.
Okay.
And I don't know why this is a thing. I think back, I was like, why was this a thing? Why was it
kind of
a singing songbook? It was kind of creepy, actually. It was like this big guy in a costume, you know. It was weird. I think there was a dog too.
It's very similar to Ronald McDonald's.
It's very similar to Ronald McDonald. I'm sorry. That was the first, whatever reason, that was the first thing. You said elementary school, Ronald McDonald. I'm going to Salty, the singing songbook. That's what I remember. That's the famous character I remember from.
But it's so weird. They had to have made a huge decision in their marketing to where it's like, okay, we're done with this whole family of characters we created. We're done with Ronald. We're just on with Happy Meal, and we're gonna have these sponsors and all these brand deals and new movies instead.
Yeah, it's like we get the anthropomorphic Happy Meal box. We don't need Ronald. We don't need Grimace or the Hamburglar. We don't need any of those.
Gave up on all those guys.
I was like, man, I like the Hamburglar. You know, it's just like
I used to collect the nuggets, the little nuggets with the faces on them, and now I collected all the Funko Pops of the nuggets that they have now.
They had Nugget. Oh yeah, I guess they did. They had like anthropomorphic Nugget, the Nugs.
Yeah, I was a big Nugget kid, so I collected. I love those, and. Yeah, I do miss the original characters. McDonald's. They really phoned it in after a while.
They had a little bit of a charm to them, I guess. But maybe they felt that it's like, this old. It's too old now. Kids aren't interested in that.
Yeah, now kids just want Despicable Me, you know.
It's creepy Minion box basically. Just kind of what it reminds me of.
I was just saying movies,
horrifying. Movies. But the animation style of the anthropomorphic box does remind me of Despicable Me. It's very scary. But anyway, we've gone way off topic. That was fun. I like that rap. The Joker versus Pennywise is my next one.
What number is that?
It's number 3.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of my favorite battles. Period.
Yeah. This is up there. This is like my top 3 is like among some of my favorites ever. I will say Joker versus Pennywise is awesome. This might be one of the longest raps, and they make use of all that time. It doesn't feel stretched out at all. They make reference to everything you could think of, like cuts from the book, of It, the book, talking about the actors in both versions of It, both the TV version and the film versions. The Joker, like all the incarnations of the Joker, pretty much are made reference to, including the new one, the 2019 one. Yeah, it's great. What a great cuts from the comics. I mentioned Mark Hamill. It's all kinds of. It's great. What a great rap. What an amazing beat.
Yeah. No one's dying to play with Joker, except for maybe Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm. And there's the effects on this one are great too. All the like special the editing and effects and stuff are all really good.
Yeah, and Lloyd played a really good Pennywise.
Yeah.
Really good.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
It was good. I felt like they did a really good job of making Pennywise creepy in this, so that was effective.
Yeah.
Harry Potter versus Luke Skywalker is my number 2. I love Legos, but they did an amazing job. Just this entire everything about it was just really fun. I feel like Harry Potter kind of had the upper hand because they didn't bring in the fact Luke never brought up the fact that they did in fact ruin Harry Potter, like they ruined Luke Skywalker. I put quotation marks. If you've seen our channel, you would know our feelings on The Last Jedi. And
it's not fair. They say that JJ compacted your character to trash. That's not fair.
That's not fair. Ryan Johnson did that. JJ tried to bring you back again.
JJ did nothing. He did nothing to his character.
No, he didn't. He did nothing.
Yeah, this is my favorite battle, period, I think. It's my favorite ERB ever.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's amazing.
At least when I Slytherin a sister, She isn't mine.
Yeah, she isn't mine. Yeah, there's all kinds of great stuff in this.
R2D2. There was a great R2D2 line.
Yeah.
Your acting is flat, and your rap's R2D2.
Yeah, R2D2. Yeah. I like the little Han Solo. What was it like? That'll do nicely.
That'll do nicely.
Yeah, it's like that's just like a little off reference from Empire, but they like fit it in perfectly. All the stuff with like the Weasleys. I blew up a Death Star. You blew up Aunt Marge. There's so much good stuff in this. It's great. Jam packed full of two of the most massive pop culture franchises of both of our lifetimes.
Yeah, they hit him with really good stuff. Where it's like, you may be Potter, but Harry, I planted your seed.
Yeah,
and
another one where they stuffed it really well. Also, that stop motion was awesome. They knocked it out of the park.
Oh yeah, they said death would eat you up without Hermione and luck.
Yes.
So that's going right for Harry.
Yeah.
Not just like all Harry Potter,
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
Because it is like, Hermione, he does get lucky, and Hermione does do a lot.
And I mean, Harry himself in the books even admits it. It's like I'd be nowhere without. I bet a lot of it's me getting lucky. So, which is true. That's like kind of his friends are very important. And it's not really till the last book where he comes into his own as a wizard. So I guess makes sense with the hero's journey, right?
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a series we got to get into at some point. There's a whole other world. We go into all the Harry Potter movies.
For you Otaku Brothers fans out there, you know how hardcore a Harry Potter fan I am. So
I'm definitely not hardcore, even though like I saw every movie. It's just like I can't remember a lot of the details, and it's been a while since I've watched most of them, so I could use a refresher course, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. So I am hard. The Cursed Child I think is horrible, but I feel like if I did actually go see the play, I would probably enjoy it for what it was, because I'm sure it's probably a spectacular. Like it's probably an entertaining spectacle, but I hate the story. So, regardless,
Star Wars has its hits and its misses as well. It
does. Star Wars does too. So Harry Potter can have them.
Yeah, Harry Potter doesn't have much, right? I mean, I haven't watched Fantastic Beasts, so.
So the thing about Harry Potter is that J.K. Rowling is doing her best to try to destroy it these days. She really is. It's trying real hard. So
J.K. be going off on Twitter.
Yeah, she's also got some things going on there
doing
too.
A lot.
So my number one, and this is probably my number one of all time. It was honestly a toss up between the two, but the Guy Fawkes versus Che Guevara is awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. You put it that high. Number one.
I know.
It's a great battle, but.
I know. I don't know. There's something about it. I just dug. I think it was just the performances overall, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like probably tomorrow I'll be like, nah, I should have given it to Harry Potter. What am I doing? But like, I don't know. I stuck with it from I was like, wow, that was like my favorite one ever. I just stuck with it until the
favorite one ever. Yeah,
I mean, it's great. I think it's a lot of great references to the history of both, the events of both, sort of the culture, I guess, surrounding both too. The V for Vendetta, and then you've got the merchandising and how every like cool millennial is like, I'm a communist, Che Guevara, and it's like, okay, where'd you buy that shirt? It's like,
capitalist rich off of you on merch.
Yeah. I think maybe it was more or less like, wow, a history thing, and it's like it's got like good commentary on both things. So I guess maybe that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure. It's a fun beat.
Oh, the beat! Yeah, the beat was amazing. I think that was probably. I think that's maybe also why I stood so high, because like Freddy Krueger versus Wolverine's fine, but like I think this is the first one I was like, holy crap, the beat of this is so good. It was so good.
They got it.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
That's the Epic Rap Battle of History Season 6.
Keep them coming, guys, please.
What's the best season? This is the best season, right?
Yeah, it's a toss up between this and 6, I think. Or this and 5. Yeah. I think I'd probably give the edge to this one because like Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker, the Joker, and Pennywise. I mean, they've consistently gotten better. They're all timers right there, yeah. So,
but I think probably most of the best battles. They're between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So it's true. Like you have the occasional. There's Eastern philosophers versus Western philosophers in season 4.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Zeus versus Thor. It's like something about these Lego battles. It's these really good.
Yeah.
Really good bars when you put some Lego animation on it.
Yeah. The Lego animation too. They also have to. They have to coordinate all the stop motion with that too. So it's
almost like they don't have to worry about doing the video because they give that to whoever does that, so they can just focus so much on the writing that it always comes out really good.
Yeah, maybe that could be that too. Yeah, yeah.
So they're 2 for 2. And those are 2 of the best.
Indeed. I also liked how we sort of talked about this when we were watching it, but they kind of had every element of like great notable battles. So you have like the ones where you've got multiple people coming in. You have the one where one person comes in and schools the two. You've got the election one. You have super popular pop culture one. You have like the actual historical figures, celebrities of yesteryear as well. You use Jacques Cousteau and Irwin. Yeah, they kind of have like an element of a lot of stuff. So that was fun. It was good.
Yeah, they really touched on everything. There's so many. Almost left no stone untouched.
Yeah, and then the stop motion, of course. Yeah.
It's like there's only so many things left that they have to check off their bucket list of battles that people have been wanting. It'll be cool. So yeah, that's it for ERB for quite a while because it takes them like months between each battle, and they've only done the first episode of season 7, so it'll be quite a while. So we talk about it again.
Okay, well, look forward to it. This is always good times.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it right there. So from that, what would you suggest our viewers go watch after this?
You're gonna go watch Star Wars Episode 4: New Hope review.
All right, cool. Starting right off.
Because you gotta go through the whole series.
I finagled my way to watching an unedited version of the original movie.
Eventually, we'll have a Harry Potter series, I'm sure. That'll be fun to go through. All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And like us on Facebook. Tarqaron TWO. All right.